is because I can't find the little hook for it, so it's literally just like balancing, so maybe it's messing up because of that, I don't know. But today I'm just going to be talking about, I'm wearing my freaking wig because bro, I just felt like wearing it. But one of the, I don't know, I guess, I don't know how to preface this, like one of the I don't know, multiple systems allegedly, all for entertainment purposes only, in The Sims, all right? This is all in The Sims, okay? So, hi, thank you so much for being here, you guys. None of this is real. Hi, Kat, hi, The Glitch Club, hi, oh yeah, hi, The Glitch Club again. Okay, so I'm gonna be just reading from basically when r/DissociaDID tried to bring this to r/kya&co, kya&co was like, no, this is photoshopped clearly, it's been proven to be photoshopped, but the reality is there's multiple systems coming forward saying that actually DissociaDID was in that Facebook group, and so I am one of the unfortunate people. Chloe decided to ask inappropriate questions about my RA abuse. They wanted details about several traumas, which was highly disturbing. After a few years later, they started alluding to the exact same traumas I had been through, including several names of parts within this system. I have never even considered taking screenshots of the conversation as I wasn't aware of sites such as Reddit. A few of my posts have already been added to the group, but it's something we as a system are trying to work past and get boggled down. There will always be people that don't believe it, and that's entirely their prerogative. So something that I thought was really interesting about this, that was commented one day ago, was this person is claiming, all alleged, that DissociaDID took specific alter names and presumably alter personality traits that go with the names and claim them as their own. And nobody asked this, and I feel like I'm not going to be the one to ask because I feel like it's rude. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know if it's rude, but to ask like which ones it was, because I'm just going to go ahead and assume it was, you know, Jade, Sally, you know, the ones in my original video that I did. But someone said, I'm really sorry you're one of those people they stole trauma parts from. It would be great if kya&co fans could realize DissociaDID, despite being a savior themselves, have their own victims that they have harmed, multiple victims, spanning years. And then the original system commented in reply and said, thank you. I don't know what it is, but everything has to revolve around Chloe, and if someone disagrees or has constructive criticism, it's suddenly abuse. I tried to talk to her several times about what she did, but she flat out refused any accountability and denied everything. This is my only SM account now, so mods, please delete comment if it's inappropriate, as I can't back up my statements and I don't want to insinuate anything, and only post facts about our truth. I don't hate Chloe. I'm not even angry at her. In the beginning, yes, definitely, there was some anger, as what we told them was explicitly about the group who abused us, and we aren't in the UK. It was a real slap in the face. But after 5 or 6 years of watching them rise on several social media, that's what SM stands for. social media platforms and posts so much misinformation. The anger turned to pity and sadness that they think they are above everyone, and there is no one to hold them accountable. Anything you say can be coined as abusive, which is a very common BPD trait, and thinking everyone is out to destroy them and get them. Anyways, we are working on healing ourselves, and very fortunate enough to be surrounded by colleagues and a lot of specialists that understand. So basically, that whole thing inspired me to do some digging, and by digging I mean 2 months ago. But 2 months ago there was a Reddit post on r/DissociaDID posted saying, testimony from one of the systems who dissociated allegedly. Oh my god, I just had a Eugenia Cooney moment. You know how she does that with her hair? No hate, no hate. It's just that her hair is as long as mine right now. Oh. This rainbow hair is like getting in my eyes. How do I make it like not do that? You know what I mean? Well, surely that's not it. Maybe I could do like a side bang kind of thing like I did in middle school. Yeah, I think that's gonna. Hi, Bubbly Bo. How are you doing? I feel that DissociaDID totally absorbs other stories and turns them to be their own. Yeah, it's because she wants to be the sickest. It's familiar traits with those with factitious disorders. Thank you, Peniel Peggy. Yeah, it's interesting because people were talking about like allegedly, like this is seriously alleged. You know, DissociaDID is the one with, you know, you have to pick the worst trauma. Like, how histrionic is that to be like, okay, so I'm not gonna have the 99% of people with DID have X trauma, but my trauma, okay, is gonna be something crazy. And that, I just thought that was funny that, but before I go on to the testimony, I'm just gonna read this. Okay, first of all, I only watch for the cats. I wouldn't, but you know, it's up to you. It's all up to you. Because she can't. The irony is whether or not she has a secure attachment with her partners is besides the point. It doesn't even factor into a DID diagnosis. Why? Because it's criteria, not a symptom. But anyways, what are they getting at here? They're getting at, oh, here it is. But for her narrative and Trauma Olympics to work, she's picked the most mysterious and baddest trauma she could find. Even the trauma, you know, the thing where such catastrophic events happen that fundamentally change your brain chemistry, leading to life-altering consequences of your behavior, which is completely uncontrollable and unwanted. Chloe, her narcissism doesn't stop from her wanting superiority over others through claiming she has it the worst. Something that I thought was interesting, I think this might have been commented on my channel, which would be Rad or Reddit, I'm not sure. But someone said, like, that it seems like these are very picked traits, if that makes sense. It seems like kind of like you're playing The Sims, whereas usually with alters, in fact, I was watching DID Hatchery, their new video, and they were talking about being afraid of alters that might do really bad things to the body and not knowing if they'll do that or not knowing if there's, and so, like, DissociaDID never really has those problems. I don't know, but... So here's some testimony. Let's see here. Well, maybe we can read the classic one first, okay? All alleged, of course. We have an extremely hard time. Okay, so this is a comment from a system in the Facebook group that DissociaDID either was a part of. I'm sure they left since the whole thing, or no, they were kicked out, allegedly. Take a shot of water every time I say that. You'll have to go to the bathroom. Okay, wait, guys, plug your ears for a second because I need to take a drink of water. Okay, ready? I'm sorry if that killed anyone's ears for any reason. I don't know how the microphone works. Like, sometimes I'll think it's nothing and it'll be like something huge, and sometimes I'll think it'll be something and it's like nothing. But anyways, this system says we have an extremely hard time on Halloween. Oh yeah, can you guys do me like a rad favor and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky. Comment below how you feel about this situation. If there's any information that I missed out, I would love that testimony, all alleged. Become a member. It starts at 99 cents. You get early access to my videos. You get to pick my videos, shout out in every video, and many more other perks. And thank you so much to each and every one of my members. I know that some of you are watching either right now or after, and you guys are awesome. And with that being said, why, Michelle? Why? That was perfect timing. I feel like there's never a good time to say that. Where are her bad persecutors? I mean, I was having a conversation with the system about this. I was like, bro, I don't understand. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding why Jade as a persecutor would want to record. But now I'm thinking to myself, like, they're a young adult. Like, maybe all of them collectively, I guess, are interested in social media because that's what the body, I don't know. But at the same time, you guys, oh God, I think this is stuck in my glasses. No, please no. I love this wig. I mean, no, I actually don't like love this wig. Like, it's okay. Okay, I ended up finding an archive of old dissociated content in a 2018 video saying cancer is a terminal mental health condition. They just said, what? Remember when they said, all alleged, that they didn't actually say this, you guys. I'm just making this up. Allegedly. I don't know, you guys. I just don't want to get sued. But they did make a video saying that they laughed, bro. I remember this video because this is when I was still watching DissociaDID, and like at this point I didn't believe that they had DID anymore, but I was still watching them because they were entertaining. I don't know. And they made a video saying, like, someone say, and they were like, cancer is nothing like DID because people understand cancer, people study cancer, whereas DID, it's so much worse because nobody understands it, and it's not a studied, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say about that. I would love for you to send me the video. I wanted to ask, but like, I don't want to be like extra. Not that I'm not already extra with my wig, but it's all good. Okay. The Nebula system, or why did I say the Nebula? Nebula's diary. Some of us are okay with being on camera and others don't like being on camera. That's what makes it hard to be a consistent creator for us, right? It's like, yeah. Okay. So anyways, I'm sorry, you guys. I'll try to put timestamps in. We have an extremely hard time for Halloween. We recognize much of what you describe here. For us, this has to do with our history of SRA. Chloe You guys know their last name. Like it's not doxing them to say their last name because that's public, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get sued. What is SRA? If that's okay to ask, X, which means kiss, I think. Satanic ritual abuse. And then DissociaDID, Chloe did this, on Facebook, you can do like the sad crying face reaction, sad crying face reaction. Oh, I don't think we had anything like that. Thank you though. Okay, that was one post. Chloe is still a part of the dissociative disorder Facebook group where she watches people who actually have mental illness talk about their trauma for whatever sick reason she has for being a trauma vulture. As far as I've seen, she hasn't posted or commented anything in a month. And then there's a picture of DissociaDID's Facebook, which is public. So there's that, the classic ones, but people are like, no, that's screenshotted, all right, fine, I'll entertain you, I'll entertain that idea. It's screenshotted. Then what about the systems coming out? All right, about, their trauma being stolen, allegedly. It's just, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Why should we believe DissociaDID over other systems? Is it because they have more subscribers? Like, that's not it. That's not cool. Okay, we actually spoke to a friend in the legal profession about what we could do regarding this a year ago, about the stealing of trauma. Unfortunately, stealing someone's trauma histories isn't a crime. Yes, she has profited off of it via YouTube, but we don't have enough physical evidence to prove she actually stole ours and several other SRA, RA, and MC survivor stories. The challenge is also that she's in a different country. The only people we feel sorry for are her parents, who have been painted as monsters that are either involved or completely neglected her during the so-called abuse. That's the thing. And not to talk about anyone's families or histories, right? But someone commented on the Reddit and they were like, DissociaDID. My parents were so loving and I had such a great childhood. Also DissociaDID. My parents were so neglectful that I was subjected to all of this horrible, allegedly, goings-ons, happenings. Yet on Facebook group, she vaguely tells everyone that her parents are abusers. Go figure. Before they moved out, I remember them saying their home situation was violent. Add-on. I can't recall if it was on Instagram or Tumblr or any of her social medias, allegedly, but I remember seeing it and feeling very scared for them all. We remember that, but the story changes so often we don't know if anything happened. Something else that really bugged me after my trauma story after she asked for my trauma life story in a Facebook group is that it takes years to get to know your headmates and get internal communication going. Diaries are a great start, but you don't get DX and suddenly everyone starts talking to you, diagnosed, and suddenly everyone starts talking to you and your DID becomes more overt, especially since DissociaDID kept implying that her family home was where the abuse happened, allegedly. A lot of things don't add up, and the misinformation is downright insulting for those of us who have been fighting to actually destigmatize DID. We still don't know everything that's happened. We still don't know everything or everyone, and it's been 18 plus years. We've gained a lot of internal communication within the years of constant therapy beforehand. Yeah. Let me see. She caused my system a lot of extra trauma we don't need. You can't grow when constantly stealing other people's trauma histories. You can't grow if you don't acknowledge what you do or have done. That's how growth works. DissociaDID has had since 2017 to apologize for taking a lot of body's traumas and vaguely telling people that she went through it. Taking alters of mine and several other systems and internal worlds and making them hers. Nah, it's not on and unforgettable. This doesn't seem right. All of her trauma past seem to be her own. I'm not an expert on DID, but I really think it's possible. I really don't think it's possible to steal alters. How is it not possible with peace and love? You can when you're faking. Probably better to read through other conversations because we aren't going to repeat ourselves. Before DissociaDID started her YouTube channel, she joined dozens of Facebook DID groups and specifically asked our system and many others about their trauma. A year later, DissociaDID is making videos on our internal world, which was extremely disturbing. Whether we asked her about it and she blocked and deleted our messages and questions. You are either trolling at this point or are DissociaDID herself. I've wondered that a few times about comments on my videos. I'm like, DissociaDID. Thank you guys for being here, though. Sarah Gibbons, Queen Mama Bear, Koi Pond. I'm highly skeptical of the whole RMC/MC claiming crowds of this generation, TBH. A lot of it is based on conspiracy theory. I'm sure the same stories are true, but it can't be as prevalent as in the community, as the community makes it seem. Part of DID criteria is having disorganized attachment to caregivers. It really wouldn't make sense for her to consistently have had a good relationship with her parents. Peniel Peggy, hold on, you guys. Soz. Alright. I know, I gotta work on this wig. I was brushing it, but I was like, I want to go live. I can't with this wig. Where the... Sorry, y'all, there's no other way. I don't even know if you guys could hear what I was saying, but anyways, it's all good. I just need to find my little thingy so that I can connect it. But I think she does steal a lot of people's trauma stories because Braided talked about being triggered on cam. The DissociaDID had about being triggered on cam. The DissociaDID had been triggered on cam. Bobo talked about having a new split and seizures, and I think DissociaDID did the same. Yeah, a lot of people are even saying that DissociaDID is still consistently doing that. And, yeah, I don't know. But Mommy and Daddy paid for her diagnosis, and they are so confused as to how she got her diagnosis, but we're so loving and supportive, apparently. All right, you guys, like, there's a conspiracy. Everyone put your tinfoil hats on. That, like, DissociaDID's parents pay, for a lot of the things that they have, probably, like, because... I mean, okay, first of all, let me preface and say, like, that DissociaDID makes a lot of money. Okay, like they said that AdSense isn't good. Like that AdSense is like nothing. What's really important are the sponsors. For me, as a monetized YouTuber, I've been for like 6 months now. AdSense is awesome, bro. You make money from AdSense. And like I went on a whole rant about this in my last video, but DissociaDID basically allegedly lives in a mansion. Dude, like if anyone in England knows that a 3-bedroom house, it's not a mansion, but it's a really, and if it's a house, it is a mansion, bro, because like British people usually live in those joined houses or a flat or something because of how expensive land is in England. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the thing. I stopped watching her because it just felt weird when I was watching them. When I see this catching up and you know why, yeah. That's the thing. I don't think anyone with actual trauma would do such a thing. Yeah. I'm close with my dad, but I was still left open to abuse as a child when my brother was in the hospital, years. So I shuffled around. You can't just end up with the abuse if you have proper care. Yeah. Thank you for that, Eric. I've never once heard someone's trauma and been like, oh, I want that. Who does that? I don't know. Like, I'm not going to say it, though. You guys know what I'm thinking, though. DissociaDID does. If the alters positively trigger each other sometimes, but it's not constant. It's because she's running her own soap opera. She needs new episodes always. Yeah. I don't know enough about main character complex, but I should do a video about that. That would be fun. Because like no shame, like if you have main character complex and you don't know it and somebody calls you out, it's like, oh, like maybe I can start doing something about that. A lot of our houses are 2 rooms up and 2 rooms down and a small bathroom. Right. You guys, my nan and granddad have the smallest shower. They're like sim showers, bro. Like, it's like a square, bro. I'm done with England. With peace and love, though. England is beautiful. 3+ bed houses are really big compared to that because our top floors are generally the same size as our bottom floors, unless there's been a garage conversion or random extension. Yeah, that would be an amazing video. Thanks. I was also recommended to do a video about, it's a disorder where you can't change your perspective. It's like if you have one perspective or view, you have the inability to change it. I am one system she asked inappropriate questions to and used our inner world without revealing personal information about me and my system. We can't prove anything. She did delete almost everything as soon as she asked, and I'm no longer on Facebook or have any access to the inbox messages, and so the inbox messages are gone. We have presented what happened to us. We aren't trying to persuade people with our truths. People are free to take it or leave it. We have stepped back from here because it is getting too traumatic. Yeah, that does sound unbelievably traumatic. In our opinion is we believe she has some kind of trauma, but definitely not the extent that she alludes to, and it's not extreme enough to cause DID. Listen, anyone with BPD out there, you know that BPD can feel like DID. Like, it can be extremely debilitating. One sec. Sorry if I kill anyone's ears. This is purely our interactions. From our interactions, her asking for details about our trauma, suddenly having our detailed specific trauma outlined in her YouTube videos 2 years after the fact, and many things don't add up from a clinical point of view. We are definitely not trying to armchair diagnose her, just using our knowledge of how not only having DID, but working with people in the field of expertise, psychology. Dissociated is definitely troubled and mentally ill, but the only people that can help and those who are available in person can help, and those who are available. Unfortunately, it's a very easy condition to fake, especially online. If you forget something or your story changes, everyone just chalks it out to dissociating. It's easy for people to get away with lying, so much easier when you can just say, oh, it wasn't me. As a system, the inconsistencies and amazing communication for an overt system is nothing short of a miracle. The majority of overt systems have no internal communication and find it very hard. It takes years of intense therapy to go anywhere near the amount of communication dissociated has, which she seems to have gotten within months, or even starting within months of even starting her YouTube channel. She went from supposedly knowing nothing to knowing a lot about the main alters. Again, sorry for the blog. This is just our personal opinion and alleged. We could elaborate a lot more, but TBH, we don't have the energy, and unfortunately, because we are no longer on Facebook, we can't provide tangible evidence without disclosing our identity. It's an all-around sad situation. I mean, like, I asked earlier, I was like, why couldn't these, like, I don't want to ask because I feel like it's rude, but I'm curious what alters dissociated took, but then I realized that it's obvious, the ones that she presents, except Kyle. I think Kyle was more of like a imaginary, like, no, I'm sure he's based off of somebody. Like, there's the idea of the primary protector. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Intrescence disorder? Do a video on my ex, Jay. No. Bro, no, I have to stop right there. BPD and DID have overlapping symptoms, so it can be confusing and similar, even though it's not the same. Okay, thank you, Kat. I have BPD, and I go through personality shifts that feels like I'm someone else. I can see how BPD might get confused with DID. The both have identity issues and dissociation. Thank you for the first-hand perspective on that. For me personally, for my personality, what? For me, my personality change on who I hang out with. I've been many things in my 30 years thanks to BPD and identity confusion. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. BPD, like, I just made a video about it and it sounds like exhausting, bro. Dual diagnosis is a thing. It's possible, I think. I'm not a doctor, though. She didn't get confused, though. She was diagnosed with BPD and didn't like it, so she neglected the diagnosis and sought out the DID diagnosis. Once Remy recommended one, she took it and flew with it. Yeah, like, Well, let's look at it from context clues, you guys, all right? So our context is that DissociaDID allegedly said it's cool to have BPD and that they would like to have it. Okay. So, with that information in mind, DID online is exploited, I would say, more than BPD. I don't know. It's just the way that it's in the accuracy, especially, bro. But from context clues, we can assume that dissociated would think DID is cooler than BPD. And so they would decide to fake that instead. But alleged. It's extra squirky for me seeing old comments on Facebook groups with people with DID where they were asking others questions about their trauma, RA, etc. I was in one of those groups and it made us extremely uncomfortable, especially since she asked us in details, but then complains about people trauma dumping in her DMs. She thrives on hearing extremely graphic content of abuse. It's very disturbing, to be honest. All alleged. I'm sorry that happened to you. There's no excuse for fetishizing other people's trauma. Someone else said, holy shit, that's awful. What the fuck? They said the system that she stole traumas from said, we blocked her. We got tired of seeing her ask really inappropriate questions, and then she went incognito, and we decided to ask through inbox. Not cool. Also not cool to have parts of your trauma suddenly become a part of her internal world, and her constantly vaguely telling people that she's a survivor of SRA. You do not have the inner world dungeon and the graphic description she tells people without serious harm being done to you. Trying to word without triggering us or anyone else who are survivors, but if you understand, you understand. It felt like a slap in the face. It's not the first time she used parts of our history and our history and friends of ours. Wow, that's crazy. It's humorous that she doesn't disclose any kind of information about her trauma, yet has the audacity. I don't use that word a lot. I love that word. It has the audacity to ask people with extreme torture histories and survivors of SRA for specific details about trauma. Like, who does that? Something that's been bugging us is when you integrate, you fuse, and you have no choice but to access all of the memories from the person who you have become one with. Chloe obviously didn't think that through when she decided to become Nin with Nina, as she still goes on about knowing nothing about her trauma. I'm so dead, bro. Not systems debunking. After gaining such fantastic co-consciousness with your main alters, you wouldn't have gained some level of understanding about your abuse. She seems to be taking amnesia too far. They're still saying that she can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that bugged me a little bit too. When a non-trauma holder alter integrates with a trauma holder alter in my system, it took almost 6 months to fully register the new memories and trauma to have his emotions level out a little bit. Hell, gaining those trauma memories without proper therapy, guidance, coping mechanisms can easily re-traumatize the fusion and integration. The original commenter said, hell yeah, we still struggle and it's been a couple of years. It's like watching a bad movie, but you are in it, and the feels and emotions but you are in it, and the feels and emotions when they become yours. It's like, what? Especially when you've never had those types of emotions before. This person says, MTW. We we are one of those people, and it's not just our inner world she basically copied, but traits of our alters and became full. Wait, traits of our alters suddenly became full alters of hers. We have held back in saying everything because we will only reveal what we deem relevant to the conversation. She also took certain aspects of our abuse and sex trafficking information we disclose in a private group, and suddenly it became part of her inner world. She was smart in that she waited over a year to make a video, probably thinking that people had forgotten. It's pretty damn hard to forget your own abuse, DissociaDID. So seeing it in a video of hers was soul destroying, literally crushed us, and we commented, of course it was deleted. We aren't here to disclose everything that she did to us or our friends in the same group. That means going into our history. We just want to inform people when certain questions arise, and if we feel we have some input, we will unbiasedly give that information. We are neither for or against her, but we have spoken more recently internally, and we still hope she walks away and never returns. We are not the only ones who have been betrayed by DissociaDID and had our own personal histories made a joke because they couldn't make up their own inner world. It's really traumatic and makes our blood boil hearing her talk about being burned when we literally have scars all over our body from such actual abuse. Wow, that's insane. That is insane. I believe you 100%. We have also been personally betrayed by her, but are not ready to disclose the details of it. She knows exactly who I am and what she did. Anybody who tells you, anybody who wants proof of what she did to us should bear in mind that we haven't said what she did yet. Did I read this already? How is this not the bigger scandal? They have made a full scene because someone dared to ask if they remember their trauma, not even the details, but they go around asking people for their story. What the F? How are you so calm about this shit? She seemed to become so big so fast. We tried to warn others in a tactful, sensitive way, but they chose not to believe what she was doing was on purpose. She started asking questions way back in 2017 and joining all these Facebook groups. It was like she was gathering information and try and make sure she was right. Things seemed off with her in the beginning. It was so surreal seeing her popularity growing, even when she pointed out several things that were wrong. Even when we pointed out several things that were wrong, she just deleted all of the comments. It's so sad when someone has to go through thousands of comments and delete all of the criticism. Most was feedback and misinformation. DissociaDID certainly can't handle any kinds of criticism or people pointing out that she said she wasn't an actual scientific fact. She gets super defensive and passive aggressive. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Some kya&co fans will shut down these survivors because they're saying something bad about Kaya, then shout for people to believe trauma survivors. Someone else replied and said, I've seen kya&co fans say these are obviously newly made and fake, even though these pictures have been circulating for years. I saw some fans try and figure out this system's Facebook account. I am disgusted. This system has had their story stolen, left the online community because of it, and kya&co fans are trying to find their Facebook. To what? Harass them? Allegedly. Exactly. Which is funny because when I brought it up to kya&co subreddit, I was told I was partaking in cross-community harassment. When it comes to trauma stuff, I believe survivors. I will never not believe survivors. They've accused me of that too. Cross-platform harassment. Like, we're supposed to remain sequestered to this sub and never go to any other social media platform if we have to. We're by default engaging in it. I don't understand what's wrong with critiquing a creator. No one is perfect. Yup, I actually used to going over to the kya&co sub to get other perspectives on things, back when it used to have people that actually talk to you. Now they just blindly support DissociaDID and comment post history of anyone who interacts in the sub and the sub comes to attack you. Yeah, does anyone know what happened to r/kya&co? Like, it's gone, and I don't know if it was like drama. It's so sad. The fans are like, this is obviously fake because someone sensibly omitted the survivor's username from the personal info, as if the survivor has ever come forward anonymously for fear of retaliation. Haven't these people had enough personal information fished out of them for one lifetime? It makes me so sad no trauma survivor counts to them unless they're dissociated. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. And this is why I've said that Chloe is a lying liar who lies on the internet for fun and profit. This should be pinned for everyone to read. At this point, the other sub for DissociaDID is driving even more awareness to how shitty this behavior all is. People there are telling triggered people to touch grass, that if you are a survivor of sexual abuse, you shouldn't be on Reddit. You are dismissing any criticism or concern for children at all as unwarranted hate. Those are all very much signs of a community that has gone to absolute shit, and the complete opposite of any kind of educational or well-meaning space for mentally vulnerable people and allies. Such callous disregard for survivors and vulnerable children is just the absolute thing I expected to see in a community founded around reducing the stigma of disorders formed by severe childhood trauma. Anyone caught in the web is going to suffer hugely, and when they eventually recover, they will have to deal with the guilt of having to entrap others in that web. Someone else said, not to mention, one user said, no one should be shaking and totally brought back to their trauma. If triggered by Mara's aggressive comment, although this person did eventually apologize when called out, which I appreciate, others are just blocking people and calling them out for this kind of behavior. As Kaya positions themselves more aggressively, so are their fans. They're completely copying DissociaDID's treatment of others, probably thinking it's healthy. You're right about the guilt they'll likely feel when this is all over. Ex-cult member guilt. They're realizing they justified lying and abusing other people out of loyalty of a leader. Allegedly, for all entertainment purposes only. That's crazy. Wow. Sorry, guys. Yeah, BPD has a nasty stigma of being an abusive disorder, so I don't feel like she So I feel like she finds it less appealing to claim. Yeah. She said BPD didn't make her feel special enough. She didn't have it severe enough. I'm assuming DID makes her feel special and extreme. I think that you're pretty much right on the dot there. So trendy. I want BPD too. Stop. Nebula's diary. I feel like one, I'm sorry. My brain is like, I'm not used to reading this much. I feel like you have said out loud that any mental illness is cool to have or whatever. That is a red flag one cannot unsee. Yeah, it's like, you did say that and you have grown a lot since then. However, like it does kind of say like a little something about I don't know, your point of view, and like from context clues we can like see that DissociaDID, they said that Bobo lied about the whole thing and then backtracked at the very end and said that it about being sued, and then at the end they said it was probably a mistake, but at the very beginning they made sure to say it was a lie. What is that? I'm not like, there's nothing wrong with it, you guys, but it's like, okay, this is a little bit of histrionic behavior. And there's nothing wrong with having histrionic traits as long as you're seeking help for them, right? However, exaggerating and going on to describe the abuse, I don't know. 100% Kyle. Wait, what's 100% Kyle? This must have been when I was reading, but I'm like all the way, I haven't read these comments, I'm sorry. I feel like BPD online is downplayed or demonized, but no rational mid-ground usually. Yeah, exactly. Frustrating because it causes so much suffering. It's a serious disorder too. Oh yeah, it's a serious disorder. Have you seen the way that some people online are handling this? No, but it's, I don't know. I know a lot of people with BPD who are just beautiful people. So I don't know. Yes, the serial killer diagnosis is so much better than the abusive diagnosis. Sarcasm. I feel like she's digging her BPD diagnosis now because it can be hard to treat. She wants to be so complex. Oh my God, yeah. If you want a clean image, a stigmatized BPD diagnosis doesn't really fit. Yeah. I forgot about it, you guys. Sorry. Because complex trauma isn't enough? Nope. Sorry. If you have complex trauma, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not, complex enough. No pun intended. Yes, classic cluster B, the bad people disorders. Yeah. Kyle, exactly. There is so much mental health issues that can end up leading a person to hurt another. We cannot allow ourselves to minimize the DX category that exists, and we should lead with empathy. Having a diagnosis doesn't automatically make a person abusive with NPD, BPD, etc. Exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate that reminder. Might as well claim schizophrenia in a few years. Yeah, you guys, this whole thing, I'm sorry, I wasn't faking. It was schizophrenia. No, please don't let her stigmatize schizophrenia more too. I meant my comments as sarcastic. Sorry, it wasn't clear. I know NPD, BPDX are not bad people disorders. Fuck, even if my boyfriend had stable NPD and he's the least toxic boyfriend I have, lol. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just very stigmatized, Eric. Eric. Everyone's just saying Eric. These disorders would be bad, complex enough for DissociaDID to snatch them. That's why I'm kind of feeling the schizophrenia diagnosis next, lol. They were banned for harassment, by the higher... who was? They were banned for harassment by the higher up Reddit moderation. I don't know more on that. Oh hey, I was watching the Bobo video and saw you were live. More bad shit as per normal? No, this is actually old shit. This is the oldest of shit. This is DissociaDID's allegedly stealing trauma stories, which is the original shit. I wouldn't care so much if it was just a general mental health vlog thing. It's that they throw around specific labels without really understanding what they're saying, right? Flapjack, that would make more sense. I don't know. Speaking out of, about, or from personal experience would be fine. When one decided to become an educator about something, that needs a more personal take. Yeah. Echo chamber of DissociaDID approved comments like the mind thinking and like-minded thinking. Yeah. I did a video on how just an alternative perspective. I did a video on how DissociaDID seems like a cult, but I took it down because I don't have a cult background and I think someone else can do better. Fair. I mean, that's nice of you to consider that kind of thing. I appreciate you. Mana Banana, oh my god, same name. I know some BPD folks too, and they're beautiful as well. They struggle a lot and had to do so much work. Yeah, that sucks, bro. It's a moment of silence for the BPD sufferers. Okay. It was nice as a person with BPD. I appreciate that, Mana Banana. Collecting disorders like Pokemon cards, but never actually working on them. Gotta catch 'em all. Oh, the kya&co subreddit? All right. So they were banned for harassment by the higher up Reddit moderation. Who were they harassing? And why did Reddit think that it was harassment enough to take them down? Jesus Christ. All alleged for entertainment purposes only. My BPD and schizophrenia friends are the sweetest and most creative people I know, honestly. I would do anything to keep them safe. Oh. I have amazing friends with BPD, my ex with BPD and DID. Haha, nope, run. Right, it's all different for everyone who has it. DissociaDID loves to say that. But BPD itself doesn't make you bad. Of course, no. That's what I'm just trying to say. But no disorder makes you bad per se. Yeah, exactly. There's people with NPD out there who are they're just chilling. It's unclear. I think something to do with the mods encouraging going on to other subs in the hearsay, but I can't confirm, lol. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's on the DissociaDID sub, why, but it wasn't like a scandal or anything. It just disappeared, I guess. As someone with BPD and DID, fair, lol, we are not everyone's vibe. Big emotions and so many of them. Oh my god, bro. Peace and love. Yeah, but I guess that's all I have to say about that. Peace and love to the DissociaDID's trauma-stealing survivors, allegedly. It's so sad. That's one of the worst things, I think, in DissociaDID history. That's horrible. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around it, really, like, about how you would feel if you went through all that and someone monetized it and Barbied it up. Yeah. The combo isn't the problem. They refuse to manage it and use it as an excuse to abuse us. If you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, you may find that they copy your behaviors and your identity becomes their identity. This would be an example of mirroring in narcissism. Plot twist, mirroring is also common in BPD. What a plot twist! People with NPD can be so compassionate. My boyfriend just rides off morals and rationale more than feeling empathy, but has to do a lot of work on to not crash and get self-destructive. Bro, a person with NPD who is self-aware is iconic. I hate people that use their disorders as an excuse. Yeah, because it's not an excuse. But thank you guys so much for coming to this live. I appreciate you for being here. That's crazy though. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you get the chance. It helps with the algorithm. I don't know why, but comment down below and tell me if there's anything that I missed, because I'm sure there is. Yeah. Dr. Daniel Fox on YouTube has some awesome videos for NPD and BPD. I'm back. Keep digging in. Falling asleep. I'm autistic and DID and ADHD. That's definitely not everyone's vibe to be friends with. Too confused and emotional. I'm sorry. Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here. I want to talk about Amber Lynn Reed's her being a stoner. I thought that was funny. And how like she was paying thousands for Ozempic, but it wasn't working because she had the munchies. Bro, I'm so done. Well, anyways, thank you so much to my members. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to consider becoming a member. It starts at 99 cents. You get to pick my videos, you get early access to my videos, you get a shout out in every video, and many more other perks. Thank you so much for coming to this live, as always, and goodbye.